Welcome back, Trailblazers. In today's video, we're taking a look at the Terra Prime from Terra Motorcycles. This is a 72 volt, 60 amp hour bike. It has a peak power of 22.1 kilowatts. It is a mid-drive, and it has a top speed of over 70 miles an hour in my experience. In this video, I'm going to be showing you what this thing is like in the real world. We're about to take it up this hill climb on our left up ahead, and we will be timing that to see what the relative performance of this bike is. Hopefully we'll get a clear shot and we can set this thing against a lot of the bikes. All right, now let's get into this hill climb. When we pass this line in the pavement where it changes colors, we will pin it. Now we pin it, you can see this aggressive acceleration from this bike. 50 miles an hour. 60, straight uphill. This is like at 10% grade. Yeah, this bike has so much torque and power. Inclines like this feel like absolutely nothing to this bike. He's pulling off. Please do not pull out in front of me. And we will pin this thing again. We have it wide open. Okay, and we can stop the timer up here. Obviously, that is not full throttle on this bike from the bottom to the top, but that gives us a good idea of the performance to expect from this bike. We're going to try and take a sharp turn without putting our feet down. Yes, the low speed maneuverability is great on this bike. And then we're going to go back off to our right and take it down this curvy route so that we can feel how the handling feels. Spoilers, that is excellent. I already tested that out on this bike with a mountain ride. So if you didn't catch that video, check that down below. I'll have that linked. I'm also going to have an independent video with this thing's off-road performance. But so far, the suspension feels really good as we go over this rougher pavement. And we're going to come into this turn, which is not high-quality pavement, so we will be slowing down. Get on the brakes. They have a ton of bite and feel great. Gonna ease back onto the throttle. Twist it hard. Stand up over this rough part. No problem. And this thing feels so composed at these higher speeds. What a bike. Before we take it down the trail there, I'm going to set up my camera so we can do a couple little launches and flybys so you can get an idea of what this bike looks like when you are on it. As you can see, I'm pretty small on this bike. This thing is huge and heavy, but it is quite quick. So we are going to launch this in a second. All right, now that we don't have any more traffic, let's do a little launch. We're not going to jam this. We are going to roll into it. So 3, 2, 1. 30, 40, 50, 60. Well, I don't know if we actually hit 60 there, but that was plenty to show you how quick this bike is. Let's spin it around real quick. Do the same thing. We're going to roll into it. 3, 2, 1. Pin now. 50. then we're gonna get hard on the brakes up here. See, the brakes are fantastic. Today's video is sponsored by AliExpress. I've been using AliExpress for 3 years because I'm obsessed with bikes like this Terra Prime, and I like to build my own with motors like these. This is a QS205 and I bought mine on AliExpress. Check the description down below and you can find yourself your own motor and controller to power your own electric project. Now let's get back into this video. We're going to be taking the Terra Prime down this dirt road to get an idea of the dirt performance for this bike. I'm not sure if we're going to hit any hardcore trails on this thing today because I am riding alone and this is quite a heavy bike at 220 pounds. It's great in the dirt, but this is not a dirt bike. This is more of a dirt scrambler, but I just wanted to throw that out there. So let's hop on the bike and check how this thing performs in the dirt. This bike is marketed as a do-everything bike, a true 50-50, so that means this thing is set up to do 50% roads and 50% dirt like this. So far, I can tell you that this thing feels super confidence-inspiring over this unpaved surface. I wouldn't say it is the smoothest ride ever, but we have a ton of power for accelerating ourselves quickly through this kind of terrain, and so far I feel like the low center of gravity of this bike leans into the handling quite well. The suspension is not going to eat everything up for you, but it does a pretty damn good job of keeping this bike stable and planted. One thing I really like about this bike is that it's using a far driver controller, and the owner Dylan has spoken out a lot about how he wants this to be a platform for customization, which is something that I stand very strongly for. I don't like bikes that come out of the box and are really hard to maintain and or customize, and this bike is not like that at all. Obviously, I am not gutting it through here. This is more of like a cruising pace, but I feel super comfortable doing 30 miles an hour plus in the dirt on this big old bike. And don't worry, as I become more comfortable with this thing, we will be wringing it out a little bit more on surfaces like these. There is a little bit of a rattle that comes from this bike, but I'm pretty sure it is just the keys jingling around on this thing, so yeah. Standing up on this bike, it eats this stuff up absolutely no problem. And it's got the power to just absolutely tear out of places. Woo! Yeah! This bike feels good. Oh, that's a big pothole. Actually ate it up no problem. Yeah, so what do I have to say about the off-road performance so far? The power delivery and traction are excellent. The long wheelbase gives you a ton of confidence because even when your tire starts to slide, you have so much time before this thing gets sideways. And as you saw there, the suspension, while not being the most plush thing in the world, is definitely no problem for soaking up big impacts like those potholes. And I can just like get back into the throttle, and this thing just flies. Woohoo! One thing I have noticed on this bike is that the speedometer is not super accurate towards the top end. I don't know if that's because someone before me played around with the far driver settings, but this thing is tuned up to the full 270 amps that this battery and controller can provide. It sure feels like it. This bike feels fast. So the owner, Dylan, likes to say that this is the do-everything bike, and so far I am inclined to agree with him. I love the way this thing feels out on the road. It feels so, predictable, both in the dirt and on the street. And its performance, while I don't think is optimized for these conditions, it's so good. Yeah. You know, we are going to take this thing all the way out to my favorite spot, out by the water. So let's take it down this way, and we're going to try and squeeze down this little trail down here to the reservoir. Oh, that just soaked my shoes so bad. But yeah, I love these big Scrambler bikes. It's so cool to have something that is comfortable being out on the streets at high speed, but also is just as comfortable squeezing back into these little trail network areas. One bike that can do everything. Maybe not everything excellently. There's probably bikes that are better at the street, and there's probably bikes that are better at off-road, but this bike does both of them well. And this being a direct drive motor, you would expect the torque to not be excellent, but no problem so far. All right, time to do some dirt bikey stuff. Yeah, I think it did that fine. For the style of bike, I don't expect much more than that. But look at the view. This is our destination for our off-road riding experience today. Look at these little gnomes chilling down here. And look at that view. All right, we're gonna hop back on the bike and take this thing back the way we came. Yeah, she's a little big for the slower technical stuff. So far, in my opinion, I really think this thing is a good street carver and a decent dirt road rider, but I would not be taking this thing out on my dirt bike routes, to be honest. This thing is fast as shit. It definitely can do dirt. Definitely. Oh my god, I got loose for a second. I think I just jumped that pothole. I didn't even feel it. Oh, I felt that one. I love the power delivery on this bike. It feels so good. But yeah, that's probably going to be about it for our dirt performance ride. What do you guys think of this bike? I think that this thing is excellent. That was a whole lot of fun, and I really don't have any major complaints with this bike. It's definitely a scrambler. It's not a dirt bike, but you can hit the dirt trails if that's what you want to do with this thing. So, yeah, the dirt performance feels pretty great. Honestly, I'm going to go before they come because I can. The thing that's beautiful about a bike like this is that you can just hop off the dirt onto the street and then you can just switch back and forth whenever you want. I definitely think this thing is more optimized for street riding than it is dirt, but I like that it's pretty damn good at both. And as you can see, this thing's got heaps of power. Hills don't really affect it at all. Through the rough corner, back on the throttle, accelerating violently. What more can I say about this bike, guys? It's comfy, it's large, it's in charge, you can ride on the dirt. It's so much fun. And it's got such a big old battery in this. If you order one, it comes with a 72 volt, 60 amp hour battery. It's huge. That gives you a ton of range. This thing has like a quoted 45 to 70 miles of range depending on how you are riding it. And I truly believe that we've done like 15 miles today and we've used a quarter of the battery. And I'm not even sure that this thing was fully topped off when I took it out of my garage. I know that this bike might not be for everyone, but I really do think this is a fantastic option. So check that description down below if you're interested in purchasing one of these for yourself. If you're not, check out one of my other reviews. I take a look at a huge variety of bikes and vehicles, so maybe something else will suit your fancy a little bit more. And if you are interested in this bike, let me show you how to save $1,000 off of this. First, you're gonna put in your email address on the pop-up as soon as you go to the website, and then it's gonna email you over a code. This is what it looks like in your email, and you're gonna put it into your checkout. This discount code stacks with my creator code, TTR005, to give you a combined savings of $989.95 with a total price of $5,509. I think this bike is well worth the price. I've put over 200 miles on this thing in the short amount of time that I've had it, and I am sad to see it go on to the next reviewer. But while I've had this has been my go-to bike in my fleet to do just about anything. It's comfortable, it's fast, and that 72 volt 60 amp hour battery lets you get very far away from home on it. But anyways, I'll catch you in the next video. Bye now.